Oh, I wanted to do a reading on J.D. Vance. Um, it's just another puppet, but what are the forces? Maybe the psychological reasons why he is how he is. This is Carolyn Meiss's Archetype cards. So if we look at political people from psychological perspective, these are archetypes. So let's see what shows up for J.D. Vance. Let's put this down. J.D. Vance, who are you in the past? Companion. So he's a companion. In other words, you know he's a Leo sun sign. Companion to who? J.D. Vance. Wants to be a hero. That's interesting. J.D. Vance, what motivates him to power? Why is he climbing presidency? A teacher. He did have teaching skills, in other words, the writing. J.D. Vance, where are you going with your power? Ladder of power. Delante. Let's see. Superficial. Tends to have deeper power. Superficial. So the first card was the companion, and the shadow of that is betrayal by misuse and confidences, loss of personal identity. So he definitely has had some kind of identity issues with the grandma and being attracted to boys when he was young and being told not to want to do that. Then he gets married, has kids with the Asian woman, India. Wants to be a hero, but it could be a false. That's the negative side. He just saw a video where he believes that people need to be told what to do or led to believe because they don't know how to think for themselves. That's on the internet circulating. So the teacher, the ability to know, to communicate, to have skill and wisdom, but the shadow of it is manipulating or abusing others, teaching, but negative thoughts or negative teachings, negative skills. I know that he wants to be part of the 2025 Project 2025. The Delante pretension to know deeper. Did write some books, but again, it's a superficial pursuit of things. Will he be president? That's because he's right next to Trump now. What do we got here? Don't know. The unknown. Wanting to be president. Maybe his skills would be better as a storyteller. He is a storyteller. He can articulate, but he can also be making up tales that harm other people. And that's the shadow side of the storyteller. J.D. Vance. Yeah, you made of. Yep, he's also part of the bully energy. concealing his deeper fears, bullying others, wanting to intimidate others. So the bully came out. To really confront, but also to comfort their own deeper fears. So the hero versus the coward, the bully. These are interesting cards. Light attributes is a child. He wants to appear to be innocent and divine. But perhaps this is saying that he's still that inner child that needs to defend himself against negative forces, since his grandma really raised him. One more card. J.D. Vance, where are you going? What are you about? And we have compassion for you. The artist. He needs to just be an artist. Not to mistreat people. Try to be more of a writer or an artist. So that'll be a positive attribute for him. So he's not really a leader, like an emperor, not like or a lawyer or someone that can help people. Yep, he's just an avenger. Desire to balance the scales of justice through righteousness on behalf of society or on behalf of himself. But the avenger can also be misguided by their cause. So some kind of repressed anger. Wants to avenge others. J.D. Vance. Trump's mechanical thinking with the engineer there. So that could be a form of manipulation. Interesting cards. They reveal more about the personality type. Archetypes. And let's see, these are based on Jungian, I think. Jungian teachings. Carl Gustav Jung. Yeah, so you can learn a lot about yourself or other people with these. So we all have some kind of archetypes to survive. Ways of survival. Let's see if we can work with these in a different way. Archetypes for today with young people, depending on media, mass media. What can we say about that to these cards? What, as a collective, are we learning from the internet, mass media? How does it shape our personalities? Perhaps might be a way of looking at it. Okay, that's what we got. 3 cards. Well, media affects our personality. Certainly what is caught on media. Well, prostitute, the shadow of placing material considerations and security above self-importance. So we're kind of like prostitutes to the mass media. Headed. Survivor without negotiating the power of your spirit. It's an interesting way of looking at prostitution, the oldest way of making money, profession. Rather, the alchemist, some misuse of power and knowledge that comes through spiritual practice. The alchemist can transform the negative into positive and so on. So, learning some form of alchemy. The internet, really? Well, I guess with AI, we could. This one doesn't seems to be blank. Okay. The unknown. Blank is the unknown. The addict, yep, it's very addictive to get on media, to just watch social stuff all the time on media. TikTok, for instance, Facebook, whatever. So it's very addictive. So that's making us into prostitutes who can create addictions. I read it that way, positive or negative. Avenger, yeah, there's a lot of people that get on the internet to avenge others. That's not a good attribute. The internet. A liberator, imposing your tyranny over those you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. That's the liberator. The liberator, freeing yourself and others from outmolded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. That would be the positive. So there's a positive and negative attribute. We have a choice to make how we use the internet, for the good or for the not so good, for the light or for the shadow, or to just be a victim. It's not good. Disempowerment. What else with the victim? Disempowerment. Rise to the occasion and not be a victim. One more card about the strength, skill, discipline. Trading ethical principles for victory at any cost, indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. So it can be used for positive or negative to help others, to discipline. Here is self-sacrifice of the ego, or to hurt others, which we have seen. That's the internet for now. Things can change. Future is unknown. We have creative energy. All things are improbability. So I'll leave you with those thoughts. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And again, this was the Carolyn Mice archetype cards. Different decks for different things. See you on the next one.